I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
I don't believe you're from Louisiana. I don't believe you're from Louisiana. You just tell people that. I think you live just down somewhere on like 12th Street, Alva. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the 410th episode. Thank God we are out of the single digits. Woo, that's good. 410th episode of the Political Spotlight. I'm your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. We are coming to you live on Thursday, March 13th, 2025. It is approximately 9:03 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching live, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you are watching live and you want to communicate with us and talk to us, if you want to tell us we're great, if you want to tell us that we suck, whatever you want to say, please do it over here on the right-hand side. If you're watching at some point in the future via replay, then you're going to want to comment down here below. Of course, we are very thankful that you're here and sharing your time with us. We only ask the very little bare minimum from you, and that is hit the thumb if you're on YouTube, subscribe if you haven't, do all of that stuff, click the bell so you get notified when we go live or drop other content, and then above all else, share the show with everyone you know. If you want to follow us on social media and see what we post and do all of those things and see what all that stuff is about, then you'll want to follow us on these social media platforms. There's our YouTube, our Rumble, and our 2 Facebook accounts, our X account. There's also the studio line if you want to text or call. And our email, my email, the show email, you can email one or both or all or none. You can also hit us up on Messenger or whatever. I will say, I have been getting just an insane amount of phone calls from people, from somebody that is wanting me. I don't know exactly what it is. They keep telling me that we have not claimed our Google like Lighthouse Studios account on Google for something like that. And I don't know if it's a scam or what it is. I need to look into it, but they are literally calling me between 15, 20, 25 times a day. They start calling anywhere from about 7 o'clock in the morning and they call until about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that. So I'm asking everybody On top of the regular influx of phone calls and text messages and emails that I get, please do me a favor. If you're trying to get a hold of me, shoot me a text before you call me. Specifically, if you're someone new or someone that I haven't talked to and you're calling from a number that I don't have saved, text me and tell me who you are. Tell me your real name or tell me your screen name. Let me know who you are, and then we'll get back with you. So I put my real name, my number out there. That way people can get a hold of us, but I just ask for a little bit of help on your all's part. So keep that in mind. What were you showing me? I was looking away. Oh, Kate's showing me something big time here. Down in the duck, stand by. Chris Bunner says, I get those for historic farmland. What? I think she said bitches, maybe. Oh, let me see messages. Let me check the phones. Okay, let's see what she sent me here. Screenshot Lighthouse Studio. Yeah, I know it's on there. I just don't get what they're wanting me to do. They're calling me every day and saying crap, but I don't get what they're telling me.
So, like, if you look up Randolph County Asylum, we have a Google business account too.
Okay.
What it is they want you to do.
Plug in, push all the way in. There you go. Oh, well, no.
So you need to. Is that better?
I can hear you.
You need to. They want you to claim the business.
Okay, so it's not a scam?
Like, it might not be. So if you go into your Google account, you can click on where you can find, the chat and the drive and all that stuff. There's also business profile manager.
You don't have to tell me like live in front of everybody, but you see up there in that top hand corner, that picture you sent me?
Mm-hmm.
What's that initial for? I mean, you don't got to tell me publicly, but that's weird. Like I'm trying to figure out.
Dan, my boss.
Oh, all right.
I'm logged in this is my work phone.
Okay, so I was like, I know nobody there's D. What are we doing?
No, I'm logged in on my work phone on my boss's Google account.
Okay, so. I was like, what the hell? I don't know him personally, but he is the third, maybe fourth individual that I know that shares that name. And there's like 3 or 4 of them. There's like 3 or 4 of them. 2 or 3 of the 4 that I know that are like local. That's really strange.
Well, he spells his name with a double N, so he's.
Oh God, of course.
Of course.
Yes. Okay. So, Jackie says competition tonight, Big Ten tournament. I guess that's Purdue versus IU. And then we've got TM Guy who says maybe some light on the Aaron Black situation in Selma. So there's an individual who has reached out to me and asked for some help there. I need to know what's going. I need to get with this gentleman and find out what's going on there. So for those, Aaron Black is the school superintendent of now Selma Wapahani school system. I don't know what that corporation's called, but that school system, Selma Wapahani. And for those of you from the Winchester Randolph County area, Union City, you all know him as hold on here. I'm reading this here. This Kim Navy. I just feel like that's not real, Kim. So if you're a real human, Kim, do me a favor and type the number 3. Type the number 3 into the chat, Kim, if you're a real human. I just don't feel like that you are, but we'll see. We'll see if you are. Oh, yes, Liberty Perry. I should have known that. How stupid of me. So here's the thing. Something is going on with Aaron Black at Liberty Perry School Corporation. I knew the moment that I heard that he would be going to Liberty Perry, I was like, ugh, this is not going to be good. So I have known of Aaron Black since I lived in Winchester. I knew him before he was a superintendent at all. I think when I first was introduced to him, I think he was just a teacher. Then he became a principal. Then he became the superintendent. And he has a wild history being somebody that is in charge of children. I know that Union City had all kinds of issues with him. And from my knowledge and my perspective, from what I recall happening, I believe that he left Union City rather disgraced. I don't think that they had a good deal with him at all. So I will try and contact a guy I know in Union City, and then I need to get back in contact with the other person that I talked to and see if I can contact them and see what's going on. Because I know that there's some things going on. The moment that I heard he was going there, I just knew that it was not going to be good. I knew that it was not going to be a good thing. And I knew that there would be problems. And it seems as though there have basically been issues with parents and students and Aaron Black since he's basically started. So in all fairness, I don't know what the issues currently are. If anyone here wants to share what the issues are, you're more than welcome to share. If you want to private message me instead, you can do that. And then like I said, I will work. So how it is, today's Thursday, which means we will not, unless something just massively crazy insane happens, we will not be here tomorrow or Saturday. So maybe over this weekend, over this 2 days, I can take some time and try to figure out what's going on. TM Guy says he is protecting 2 students, one of which is 18, who followed another student home and beat up another student that was under 18 in front of his house after getting dropped off. And has this been the problem that everyone has had with him the whole time? Or is this just a current issue or one issue? Because I was under the impression, well, I won't say what I thought. I won't say. There's issues with him. I will look into those and I will see what we can do. I will tell you, if I was a parent of a Liberty Perry school kiddo, boy, girl, kindergartner, senior, I would definitely be watching what the hell is going on in the school system with my kid. I would be, I would not be sleeping on what's happening at the school system, because Aaron Black is a disaster. And that's just all there is to it. He should not be at Liberty Perry. It's a disaster that they decided to pick him, to put him in this position. He is not a good fit for Delaware County school system. He was not a good fit for Union City. I'm glad that Union City was able to get away from him. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he left of his own accord or they pushed him out, but good for them. Horrible decision on Liberty Perry's part, bringing him into that school system. I would say the sooner that school system is able to sever ties with him, the better. So that's that. Yeah, TM. I don't want to say too much because I think I'm getting some things confused. It's been a while since I focused on what was going on with him. I actually attended a couple school board meetings back when he was the principal, or excuse me, back when he was the superintendent there, and so was actually involved in some stuff going on in Union City. So I'm aware of things going on with him, but there's just been so much with him that I don't want to get things wrong and say things that are wrong. So I will look into this. I owe it to the person who got a hold of me. It's just been really crazy, honestly, for the last year going on here. So I will look into that. I'll see if I can look into that this weekend because I don't have much going on this weekend unless something breaks. But currently, as we currently stand, I don't have much going on. So I'll try to look into that this weekend. So, ladies and gentlemen, the episode tonight, it's episode 410. The title is Stupid Is as Stupid Does. Of course, that is a quote from the movie, the book Forrest Gump, which was a quote that Tom Hanks famously says, that I think it's one of the things that his mother tells him. Mama says, stupid is as stupid does. So I think that's really fitting, kind of with the political climate right now, with everything going on, in everything politically right now, whether you're talking about local politics or state politics or national politics, whether you're a Republican or you're a Democrat, no matter what is happening, literally the best definition for what is currently going on is stupid is as stupid does. That's so fitting. The thumbnail for tonight is this here. I was sitting at my grandparents' house showing them how I kind of come up with thumbnails. And so we've got these political mascots that are just kind of falling from the sky. Stupid is as stupid does. Stupid is as stupid does. That's the thumbnail. So I want to talk about a couple different things. I've tried talking about this, like the idea that I've had for what I'm going to talk about tonight. I've had this idea for a while now, basically since it might have been, when was the State of the City? The State of the City was on Thursday the 6th. Yeah. So Thursday evening, I actually had created the thumbnail for Thursday, March 6th. I was like, I don't know, episode 404 or something. And I had called it Stupid Politics. And I spelled it the same way that we spelled the stupid Bilbrey, thing. STOOPID, Stupid Politics. And I went in and I wrote the description, and then we went live And it was like something took me over and I just completely blacked out. And I didn't talk about anything that I was going to. And instead, I just completely did a review of the state of the city, which that turned out to be a really good episode. I was really shocked. The episode turned out to be really good. So I then went in and I changed the name. I changed the name on the thumbnail. I changed the description and just changed everything. And then that was Thursday the 6th. And then so basically Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, like one of those days we were off, like the last couple of days, I've literally been thinking like, I'm going to do this show. I'm going to talk about this show. And I never could do it. Then we had the thing with Madison County and the thing with Catherine. So we didn't do it. But tonight I finally said, screw it. Let's do it. So the thing is, and the reason I have not talked about this is hello there, Fisher 5 Funhouse. Mr. Ben Fisher, hello. Welcome. Hey, welcome there, Cheryl McKinney. I see you there, everybody. Welcome to everybody. Everybody that's here, welcome. Kate was in the middle of showing me something down there, and then all of a sudden she just blanked out. So we have no Kate currently. She must have had some kind of technological mishap at her house. I'm assuming or hoping she'll be back. But we are running blind right now without a producer. It's just me. So I will try to put these things up like this. Hello there. When I can. But if I don't get to it, I apologize. So, no, the thing is, I was thinking about how to approach this because I feel like I have things that I want to say. And if I just said it the way, if I just say it the way that it's in my mind, that's in my heart, it sounds mean. It will really sound mean. And I don't. The problem is the people that need to hear it. Well, some of them will hear it. Some of them hear it. Some of them watch. Some of them will watch. Some of them can't help themselves and they have to. But the large group of the people that need to hear this, they won't actually be hearing it. They won't be hearing it. And so I hate that because then what it will sound like is it'll sound like I'm bitching at you guys. And I'm not. So I need you to understand that where we go down this path, I'm not griping at you all. You all seem to, for the most part, to be involved, very well educated on what's going on. There are some of you out there that say, hey, I don't know what's going on. I'm new to this. So, and I can respect that. It's much better than the people who don't have a clue about anything that's going on and they pretend like they know what's going on and they're out here doing this and they're mover and shakers and they got lots of people. I've got all kinds of people that'll do whatever I tell them. If I just tell them to jump, they'll jump. And it's just like, those people waste so much of my time talking to me about things that it's like, just stop. If you would spend time educating, that's why I always tell people, I hear so many people say, we've got to get active. You got to get active. You got to get active. And I always tell people, you're sending the wrong message. We need to get educated and then active. You have to be educated about what's going on. And that's very true. Ben says, would they listen if they could hear it? And no, chances are that would not happen. They more than likely would not hear. And yes, Alva, that's exactly correct. There are a lot of the sycophants of these politicians. And what's really crazy to me is you have these politicians who are in positions of power, and then they in turn then become sycophants of other politicians. So it's like, for example, all of the local Muncie City, Delaware County people who are like all just throw themselves all over like JD Prescott. And it's just like, dude, come on. This guy's dumber than a doorknob. Like, he might be a nice guy to you because you're not asking him tough questions and you're not expecting him to, which I don't know why, because just because you're the mayor of Muncie doesn't mean JD Prescott isn't JD Prescott isn't specifically Dan's representative. But like, let's take Matt Kantz, for example. Where Matt Kantz lives, his state representative is JD Prescott. Now, Matt Kantz would probably be like, yeah, JD's doing a fine job, but he's not really doing a fine job. And the fact that we can't be honest about that pisses me off, and it makes me think those people are stupid. Like, seriously. And it's not good or nice to call these people. It's not good or nice to call people stupid. But sometimes you just have to, call it like you see it. And it is. What if we read the same words to get educated but have different conclusions? There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. See, the thing is, I'm never trying to turn everybody into being a Christopher Bilbrey, constitutionally minded, conservative, libertarianish minded, Republican-like kind of person. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to make you all better in your own skins and apply those things. The number one thing is that you all are able to reason, and you're all able to discuss your thoughts and your feelings and be able to debate back and forth and understand that there are always 2 or sometimes 3 sides to each story. And, there are a couple of different ways to get where you're going. And so it's just how you come about it. And then trying to get people active, obviously trying to get people to vote more, to care about what's going on, get people interested in running and all of that. And there are a lot of different avenues that you can take to do any of those things. So you don't need to read the book or to understand what the message is and immediately just come out thinking identical to me. You can read the message and then come out your own way and do things your own way. I'm not ever trying to brainwash you. Ben says, being a nice person makes you a weak politician. I know. I won't say that necessarily. This is what I'll say. The toxic positivity, like, that is my like the bane of my existence. That is my kryptonite. It's not being nice. You can be nice. There can be nice people. You can be tough, you can be nice, you can be, whatever, empathetic. I don't have a problem with that, specifically if it's genuine. If it is a genuine thing, if you're doing it if it's a fake facade that you're putting on, just, so people think this or that, then that's trash. It's that fake positivity stuff that just absolutely kills me. It's not being able to say, you know, you're wrong, not being able to call somebody out, not being able to call out your own team. That kind of stuff is just mind-numbingly insane to me. And give me 1 second here. I'm trying to see if there's a video, and I've been looking for this all day, but I don't think it's actually up. And I want to double check here before we go on, because I'm either going to go down one path or go another. Give me 1 second here. Oh. Yeah, let's see here. Okay. So no, it's not. It's not up. It's not up yet. Sorry. I was looking to see if the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meeting was up. So the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission met today at 9 a.m. and they had nearly a 3.5 hour long meeting. Holy shit. What is going on with these meetings everywhere now? Like, look, I'm fine with that. I've for a long time said, don't speed. Don't go in here and have attitudes. These all board members seem like they're always in a hurry trying to get to their next place or whatever. I'm like, you're here. You need to be here for the entirety of it. And however long it takes to get the business accomplished, that's how long it takes. But man, seems like every meeting here in the last little bit has been 2.5 hours, 3 hours long, and it's nuts. But I was hoping that it would be up. We did not live stream it. I didn't record it. And we didn't, there was no feed to jump the feed, but I was hoping that it would be up, but it's not. Now, my hope is that it will be up in the next couple of days, and maybe we can look at it first of next week. Time will tell, because there have been times where it's taken him like 3 weeks to get it going. So I hate that. That's weird. Stumblefoot. I don't know why that's weird. I don't know why that would be happening. Maybe go out and come back in. Yeah, that's fair. But being nice, assuming represent. Yes, you're exactly right. Is a bit foolish. Yes. You're exactly right, Ben. Because you're not going to get that. You're going to. You're definitely going to be disappointed if you expect it to be reciprocated back to you. That's just not going to happen. In most places. Hey, look at that. Kate's here. She blinked out. She texted and said, hey, our power blinked out. Technology sucks, but it is what it is. Well, good. So she's back here. Anyways, so that's not up. Real quick, I want to go back to this because I feel like part of this education thing we had. Well, this will be interesting, and I'm not going to get sidetracked into a 35-minute long debate, but I'm interested in something here that Tweety Bird said. And Tweety Bird said this, because, as most of you know, I'm a musician. I've played drums since I've been about 10 years old, 12 years old, and played in like rock bands, alternative bands, played covers, played originals, written songs, recorded songs, played live, yada yada, done the whole number. Beyond being a drummer in a band. I also played in school band. I played drums in jazz band, and I played saxophone, alto saxophone, tenor saxophone, baritone saxophone in a jazz band, concert band, and symphonic band. And I was only in the summer marching program for 2 years. I worked all summer, so I didn't do summer band. But I saw Tweety Bird say, I am upset about summer band programs getting cut because of federal funding cuts. Now, I've not seen anything that says it's federal. Federal wouldn't really specifically have anything to do with that. My worry is that this is an attempt to be like, Trump cut us. It's a state issue. I don't know why you would. I don't know why you would fit that to being a federal cut. And let me read something to you. And this is from the our Indiana Reddit. Just found out that Indiana cut all summer program funding for the entire state. That the state of Indiana cut it. Just found out that my kids' marching band program this summer was canceled for the first time in over 60 years that the school has had a marching band. In fact, they have canceled all summer programs except those dedicated to students needing help passing standardized testing. I'm absolutely livid here. My kid is devastated. They have been looking forward to marching band since it ended last summer, and they just absolutely got the rug pulled out. While I am definitely ranting a bit, I'm not just screaming into the abyss here. I'm wondering if the state education department is a place I can direct other outraged parents to lodge complaints, or if there's a better avenue to vent our frustration. Not that I expect anything to be done about it, but the squeaky wheel does occasionally get the grease. All right. So I appreciate that you come back and you said, sorry, state funding. So I accept that apology and I agree with you. Now, I know that would have been a perfect opportunity for you to be like, look, Trump is the bad guy. Oh, bad Trump. Let's pack that away for a moment, and we can yell at the Republicans at the State House all you want. I'm fine with that. Most of them are idiots. I was just talking to somebody about this, and this fits right in with what we're talking about. This stupid is as stupid does. Make this make sense to me. We have all of these things that we say that we want done here in the state of Indiana at the state level government. We have now a Republican governor with a supposedly really conservative, constitutionally minded lieutenant governor with a super majority, super duper majority in Indiana General Assembly. Matter of fact, I think currently the biggest supermajority we've ever held. More Republicans holding more seats than ever. But yet we can't get anything done. It's insane to me. We have a bunch of morons in office who are all power-hungry jackasses. Absolutely. That's Kate stating that, and I absolutely agree with that. This is absolutely a message of the political spotlight on behalf of myself and Brandon and Kate. That's Kate's words, representing all of us. That speaks for our opinion on the entire situation. And I am so shitty with the people who are like, oh, it's just, you're a Tyler loving Democrat. You've always loved. I'm like, no, dude, stop. It's so frustrating that we cannot say, hey, I'm a Republican and I hate these other Republicans for being idiots. Or I'm not a Republican. I am a constitutionally minded, conservative-ish, libertarian-ish thing, okay? I don't call myself a Republican because I don't put myself in the same boat as the rest of these idiots. And there are a couple good ones, not many, not many. It's so frustrating to me that we should be able. This is my challenge for the Indiana General Assembly. Okay, this session, it's already screwed up. Everything's already a screw up. Here's what my suggestion is. Leave the session in April like you're going to, or the end of March, however soon you guys can get out of there. Okay, leave that. Go home and don't do anything political like you always never do. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. I don't believe that. No, a lot of people, there's a lot of Tweety Bird. You understand that there are a lot of people on your side of the aisle who do not like the Constitution, right? Like, you're aware of that, right? Who want to completely change it up and look at things differently, and they want to abolish it or completely make it different than what it currently is and has been. You're aware of that, right? I will go as far as saying there are people on the right side too. What they say and how they behave are two different things. Sure, there are a lot of people who say that, but there's a lot of people, the way they behave, the way that they vote, the things that they do. Oh my God. That is not a legitimate thing that you can say. I'm not even going to get into this fight because I've got a train track we're running, but we'll have to argue that. If you say, no, there is no one on my side of things, that there's no Democrat that doesn't like the Constitution, that's nuts. Because literally, I need to come over to your house and spend a week finding out what you're listening to and finding out what you're reading. Because if you're in some kind of a bubble where you do not know or believe that there are mainstream Democrats that want to abolish the Constitution, if you do not know that as a fact, you are very sheltered from what's actually happening in the world. Tweety Bird. There's no way that you can believe that. All Americans follow the Constitution? Dude, what? What about the yeah, there's no way. Hold on, let's see what he says. Oh, dude, Alva, I hate to hear that. That's crazy. There was just a big overdose down in Indianapolis last week. 6 or 7 people overdose. I don't know how. They said it was a mass casualty event. I don't know how many people actually ended up dying, but yeah, it's crazy. But listen, I'm not just blaming it on Tweety Bird on the Democrats. There are Republicans that feel that same way. That's the problem that we're in. That's the problem we're in. You know, I can respect you and respect the fact that we disagree, but I do know that you want the Constitution followed. That's why I don't have a problem with you. That's why I respect you, even though we disagree and we can fight like cats and dogs, Tweety Bird. I believe in my heart of hearts that you are someone that respects the Constitution and you want that to be followed. I appreciate that. Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, and we might interpret things differently, and I'm okay with that too. But that's not what I am saying. There are absolutely, I'm just going to tell you this as a factual fact. Please take this, and you can writing this on the farm and everything else. Take this as an actual fact. There are Democrats in America that want to change the Constitution. There are liberals, progressives in America wanting to change the Constitution, wanting to disrupt, to abolish the Constitution. There are Republicans, there are far right-leaning conservatives, which is really weird, that through their actions show that they have an issue with the Constitution being as it is. It's happening on both sides, and that's an issue that the reasonable people are fighting against. The whole thing, Tweety Bird, the whole thing, man. The whole thing. Like, for example, J.D. Prescott frequently votes against the Second Amendment, or and has done so here in the state of Indiana. And that is an issue with me. That is a big issue for me. So, that's like I was talking the other day about how the fact that I believe that he and others are Christian conservative, but not constitutionally conservative. And look, you can be one and not the other. You can be both, and I'm fine with that. But just people need to be aware of what's going on. But that brings me that. So this is funny. I want to share this. There was a post the other day on Facebook that I was going back and forth with Troy Tackett. Troy Tackett claims to be a Republican, claims to be conservative, constitutional Republican. Troy and I disagree on a lot of stuff. We agree on stuff federally. We disagree on stuff locally, and we disagree on some of the state stuff. But one of the things that Troy was talking about was the property tax thing and going back and forth, and he and I were agreeing. And he shared to my wall, he had said in a post that he has a daughter that lives in Oregon. And he said, obviously Oregon and that area is not looked at as being like a mecca for, it's not like a big haven for right-leaning Republican conservatives. It tends to be more liberal, but he did offer this up. And he says, yes, Oregon.gov predicts a kicker or surplus refund for the 2025 tax year with a projected amount of $1.726 billion to be received in 2026 when filing taxes for 2025. Here's a more detailed explanation. What is the Oregon kicker? The Oregon kicker is a surplus refund where the state returns excess revenue to taxpayers if the state's tax revenue exceeds the projections made at the beginning of the 2-year budget cycle by at least 2%. When is the kicker received? The kicker is received in the odd numbered year when taxpayers file their taxes for the previous year. In this case, the kicker for 2025 tax year will be received in the 2026. How is it calculated? The kicker amount is based on the prior year's tax ability. Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense what Troy said there. The kicker is received in the odd number of years. So in 2025, you would receive what you should have for 2024. And then in 2027, I guess I don't. Yeah, I think that's right. I think he had it flipped. Anyways, the kicker amount is based on 1 year's tax liability. To calculate the kicker amount, multiply the 2022 tax liability by the kicker percentage. How is the kicker paid out? The kicker is paid out as a credit towards the Oregon income tax bill. What are the current projections? Oregon.gov predicts a kicker of $1.726 billion in 2026 for the 2025 tax year. Is it guaranteed? The kicker is not guaranteed, as it only triggers if the state's tax revenue exceeds the projections by at least 2%. How to find out the kicker amount? You can find the kicker amount by multiplying your tax liability by the kicker percentage of the year, or by using the What's My Kicker calculator provided by the Oregon Department of Revenue. And then he shared this Oregon.gov. And Troy then tagged Matt Kantz, Stan Ridenauer, Dale Basham, and Rob Kendall in this. To which Matt Kantz says, Troy, we live in Indiana. What? Since when? What? Troy Tackett said, yes, I agree. What do you mean, yes, I agree? Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree we live in Indiana. Why is that something you would have to say? Yes, I agree. And that's the sad part. It is the sad part. They can't see moving forward if it hit them in the face. I don't smoke the crap. I guess he's meaning marijuana. But if nothing is going to be done about it, then make it legal. I wrote, Indiana. Yes, Indiana. Home of the super duper Republican majority. All you can Republican buffet. All those red weirdos that can't seem to set 2 years worth of goals and then accomplish said goals. Our state nickname is being changed, and we now have a state mascot. From now on, we are no longer the Hoosiers. We are now the Indiana Prescotts. And our mascot is the large-headed Prescott. And then I shared a picture of Prescott in his natural habitat. Okay, let me show you Prescott in his natural habitat. Sorry, no time for questions, as he's flinging himself out the door. Okay? So, Matt Kant's response to me after all that I said, after everything that I said, his response to me was, let me find out here exactly. Are you trying to be funny? No. It's sad. It's not funny at all. It's not funny at all. It's sad. It's extremely depressing. It's crazy. It's nuts to me. I don't understand it. I cannot comprehend it. Matt Kantz is mad at me because I was taking shots at Prescott. What does Prescott have on Matt Kantz? Why does Kantz love Prescott the way that he does? Why do all of these people see these few? It's total ignorance. It goes totally against everything. This is what I say. All these people, all these Matt Kantz and Stephen Brand and Scott Alexander and just all these Republicans in the state of Indiana all love Trump. But then if anybody tries to shake shit up here locally, they're like, oh, no, can't have any of that. Can't have any of that. Cannot. Oh, no. We got to do it as status quo. We gotta do it as we did back in 1816. And no shakeups. Cannot, they have bumped Reagan's 11th commandment, I think, to like ahead of all of the other commandments, like actually laid out by God. And like commandment 0 is you cannot speak any ill of any Republican. That's how I know like a lot of these people have like sold their souls, man. It's truly insane to me. And let me show you this. This is another thing that's nuts to me. Let me find this. Okay. Let me find where this was. Videos. Oh, right here. This is something that breaks my heart. Absolutely, this breaks my heart. Dear friend of mine, someone that I consider a friend, I've been down and been on air with, but something happened and now that's all for shit. Okay? So we've got Rob Kendall here, who back in 2022 attended a town hall candidate meet and greet with Todd Young. Everybody knows him. And what's crazy about Todd Young is he's such a turd. But all of these people look up to him and say, oh, look at him. He's so, Todd Young is just like Prescott. He's like they jockey and fight for King of Shit Mountain, man. That's exactly right, Carrie. That's exactly right. It's so insane. So what you're going to get ready to see here, for those of you that have never seen this, Kendall, radio personality on WIBC 93.1, co-host with Casey Daniels, Kendall and Casey show. He's holding the phone, the camera. And so Kendall's behind the camera holding it. Here's Todd Young. You can already see Todd has bored into this camera straight through Rob's soul. Watch what happens here, okay? Watch what goes on here.
This is a privilege as people to be able to do
He
this.
stops, and we've got a guy mission walking here, right here. He's mission walking. You can tell, man, he's taking great big strides. Watch what happens here.
It's an honor. Really.
It's getting close.
And,
hey, I'm sorry, we're not filming today.
Hey, I'm sorry, we're not filming today. And that's what a handler for Todd Young says to Rob Kendall. Now, I look at this and I say, well, this looks like a business, a public business. It's open to the public. Everybody's in here. You're not filming today. You just told me we're not filming today. That's fine. You don't need to film. I am. Okay. Now, Rob quit. Rob didn't push it. Rob's not like yours truly. Okay. He quit. He let this guy in khakis curtail his right to video. Watch this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
He stops. Okay, he stops. Now, let me tell you something. Rob then post 28 June 2022. When did Todd Young start banning people from filming questions from constituents? The moment Rob Kendall showed up, forever and always a gutless, big spending, disingenuous coward. Now, let me tell you something. Rob Kendall then proceeded and has proceeded to continue to talk about this moment in time. This moment in time. In July of 2022, August of 2022, September, October, November, December, January of 23, July of 23, a year later, June 28th to June 28th, a whole year later, you're still talking about it. September 2023, December 2023, January 2024, it comes up. February, March, April, May, June, July. We're at the 2-year point. Rob still talks about it. I've been on Rob's show a handful of times in this couple of years in between. And every time we were in there talking about people who do this, JD Prescott's coming up. Rob used to call JD Prescott the try guy. He tries and tries and tries, but he's not getting anything done because it doesn't really matter. His excuse is, well, I'm trying. Little does everyone else know he's not really trying. He's just saying that. And we always joked and compared that rat bastard JD Prescott to Todd Young. They're the same people. We've got video of Prescott doing that to me. I've called Prescott live on the air, and you guys have heard it. All right, we've been to meeting after meeting. All that crazy shit went down during the picnic, the Prescott picnic, and even though we're not fans of the person who did that and was all involved with that, what went on at that thing was still ridiculous and completely insane. I so wish that Brandon and I would have went to that picnic, because we would have done it right. We would have been at that picnic, not just standing over in the corner looking like a weirdo. We would have been there going around and videoing and filming and doing like media type stuff. And Prescott would have been going, and his mom and his dad would have rolled up and did their crazy stuff and whatever. And the cops would have got there and we would have left. But we would have absolutely, number one, it would have put Prescott in a really weird spot, because everybody else would have been cool with it by that time, because we would have been intermingling with them and talking, and it would have been very awkward to do. Matter of fact, I don't know that they would have still been able to carry through the same way. I think they would have changed if they would have seen people talking with us or whatever. That's that other guy's issue. That other guy, didn't know what he was doing, because he was, he a whole other lots of other reasons. He was thinking about all the evil he could do later that night. So the thing is, even that happening, it was wrong what that guy did. And I've talked to Rob Kendall about Prescott doing that after he did that, between there and now, and he's like, I can't believe that Prescott's a joke. We compared him to Todd Young. Now, yeah, that's absolutely. Now, Prescott is like, a hero. He's going to be on hand. He's going to be on hand at this property tax rally on Monday. And he is going to be there to discuss what's happening, okay? And they've got just talking about how wonderful his tax plan was, and just all of this crazy stuff going on, and they are looking at him as being like a hero, okay? A hero of the people. Mark your calendars on Monday, March 17th. Rob Kendall and Casey Daniels, co-hosts of the Kendall and Casey Show on WIBC 93.1, are organizing a property tax rally at the Indiana State House. The rally kicks off at 1 p.m., and we need you there. Why this rally matters. In last year's state election, property taxes were the number one issue for Hoosiers. Skyrocketing property tax bills have placed an enormous financial burden on hundreds of thousands of Indiana residents, prompting calls for legislation action. Yet, despite overwhelming public demand, the 2025 legislative session has produced virtually no substantive relief from these excessive tax increases. This leaves hardworking Hoosiers struggling under the weight of rising property taxes. Rob and Casey have organized this rally to send a loud and clear message to our legislators. It's time for real, meaningful property tax reductions now. Show your support and wear green to make a strong, unified statement. Wear green t-shirts, hats, or any green clothing to symbolize your support for tax relief and to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Who will be speaking? The rally will be emceed by Jason Hammer, who will kick off the program at 1 p.m. Featured speakers include Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, Indiana State Representatives Craig Haggard, Andrew Ireland, and J.D. Prescott. Remember, folks, J.D. Prescott is a great and brave warrior hero who deserves to be held up and honored in the same light as our men that did not come home from D-Day. I am only so happy and so honored to be able. I mean, I don't even deserve to say the name J.D. Prescott. Yeah, little do we know, he might even be a little braver than the men that died at D-Day. I don't know. I've not heard Micah's thoughts on this since the last time he said that weird shit. But I would say once we get through this property tax thing, that's probably how they're going to be feeling about it. Now, those words, please understand, are not my words. I'm parroting and making fun of freaks who think that about this worthless loser. They're talking about this man. Keep in mind, they're talking about this man who's a state representative who's not done shit for his district, in the same light as men who died during the Normandy invasion. That same man, let me tell you how brave and how amazing he is. Not when he was 15, not when he was 17, not when he was 18, not when he was 20, not when he was 25, I don't know how old Prescott is. He's got to be in his mid-30s. Would you say he's mid-30s? 38. He's not 40. I'm 43. I'd say he's probably 32, 33, 34, something like around there. Well, he's been a state legislator since 2018. All right. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All right. So 8 years. Sometime into like his second or third term, his mommy and daddy bought him a Camaro. And he literally threw one of those fits. Have y'all saw the videos where the parents work really hard and they go out and they buy their spoiled brat child? Generally is like a 16, 17-year-old, maybe 15-and-a-half-year-old kid, they're like, hey, you know, it's like 2012, and they're videoing him, and they've bought them this like 2009 GM, or like a Pontiac, little Pontiac something, whatever. And the kid comes out and he's like, "What's this? This isn't a Corvette. What the hell's this piece of shit?" And like some of them, like the kids like start smashing it with like baseball bats or whatever, just because they're completely just worthless pukes. That was J.D. Prescott. He literally threw a fit. He threw a fit that his mommy and his daddy bought him the wrong color car when they purchased him a brand new Camaro. They got him a Prescott green Camaro, which they thought, hey, it matches your political shit, and it, you know, Jimmy loves JD in John Deere green or whatever. Like, you know, he loves that color, but he wanted a red one. He wanted a red one. And he was pissed. And this is how he was pissed. He gets in the car and he slams the door and he peels out of their driveway, mad, pouting, probably crying. And this man is who our lieutenant governor holds up to men that were shot at on D-Day because of his amazing political prowess. That's how stupid things are currently. Listen, there's nothing we can do when the people in power are sabotaging us, when our Republicans are worse than Democrats and the Democrats are non-existent, and some Democrats think that all Republicans are bad and no Republicans are good, and Republicans think all when there's no kind of way to be able to communicate, when we can't debate freely, when we can't agree to disagree, when we can't decide that, hey, we need to put aside differences and do what's best for our city, best for our town, best for our county, best for our state, best for our country. We can't have these conversations when we have people that are worshiping these politicians like they are like, gods or something like this. And they're sycophants running around saying that we can never call these people out, never question these people for anything. When fellow elected officials are running around being sycophants to other elected officials, and you know, we have people who don't understand why somebody would say like, hey, this super majority thing here in the state of Indiana is not working, and I am not a Democrat. And they look at me like I'm the bad guy. I just don't understand. This is what the problem is. This is the stupidity. And I don't know how to overlook this. I don't know how to work over this. I don't understand how to yeah, the political color was a cover. That's hilarious, Karen. Yeah, they just happened to have a green one. And they're like, well, it's the same as your signs. Yeah, that's hilarious. For those of you that listen to that story, that is a true story. That is a true life story. And that JD was a state representative when that happened. Like, think of that. Yeah, can you imagine? A letter is sent. The servant brings a letter into the house, and the man of the house opens the letter and reads it, puts on his little spectacles, and the servant stands there and is like, is that all? And Mr. Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson, says, oh, yes, that's all. You can be, go get dinner ready. And they're like, well, what's the letter? And he's like, well, my parents wanted me to swing by on horse. They've got something for me. And Thomas Jefferson goes over the next day to his parents' house, and his parents have him a new horse. And he's like, this horse is whatever color horses are. Silver. I wanted a white one. Like, could you imagine Thomas Jefferson doing that? Audie Murphy. Alvin York. These people are idiots, man. We are so screwed. And the thing is, we can't get people don't care until it truly affects them. Enough people aren't concerned, man. It's really like for the last like 6 months, Brandon's been in a real bad mood politically. He's just like, man, I'm just these people. I just don't feel like there's a way out of this. Yeah, right, Kate. That's hilarious. His horse was gay. I had to fight because I almost said Audie Barber. I remember the very first time. So the very first time Audie and I met each other. So Audie's brother is a cop. And I knew Audie Barber. And I knew the Barbers through the cop Barber. And I knew of their dad, and I knew of all of the brothers. But I didn't know them. I knew Carl Jr., the cop, but I didn't know the rest of them. The very first time Audie and I interacted was like through a cop thing, but I won't go into any more detail than that. But when I met Audie for like the real time was many years later in 2019 when he was first running for city council, and his wife was bugging me. I've told the story a lot. His wife was like bugging me. You've got to interview my husband. You've got to interview my husband. And I wasn't planning on it. I was just going to interview the mayor candidates. And she was real persistent. And so I met them through that way. And I was getting ready to do, like I scheduled all these interviews out. And I did I did a shit ton of interviews that year. I did like 25 different interviews over the course of like a week and a half. Or something like that. And when Audie's was ready, all day long, I was like, don't say Audie Murphy. Don't say Audie Murphy. Don't say Audie Murphy. Don't say Audie Murphy. And we come on, the music starts. There's a bunch of people watching it because a bunch of people were watching these interviews. Dun, 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 dun. The Perception is Reality music starts playing. I come on. Hello, it's Kristopher Bilbrey, Perception is Reality, and I have an interview guest today. Joining me is Audie Murphy. I said it straight away. So stupid, man. I've done that like a couple different times with Audie, which is great. But God, I don't know. Yeah, I just couldn't imagine these people. Like, yep, J.D. Prescott is as great as these soldiers, you know. Listen, did he resist? He knew better. Kate's son is in the military, like at a desk in some place where he's at in America, and he deserves more respect than J.D. Prescott. He's never been to a war. He's never been out of the country, I don't believe. And J.D. Prescott's like below him. You know, so like, there's no way we could even remotely, even mentally, like, if I still don't understand what Beckwith was doing. Like, if I was going to compare him to like, if you're going to like compare him to like something like, compare him to like, I don't know, a basketball player or something, a baseball player or an actor or, you know, I don't know, but soldiers, not just soldiers, but soldiers in, you know, World War II. Oh, all right. He did. Did he really? I didn't know that. All right. So he deployed to Iraq. So that's even crazy. So that's even more so. So, you know, like, it's just like, how stupid could these people get? And it's ignorant every single day. Somebody earlier was talking about the Dan addicts. A couple days ago, I made a post about the that new bar in downtown Muncie that I'm still looking into. We're still checking on that. It's going to take a while to get those minutes in. And so I made a post. It said, so Dustin Clark's American Bar Company and the liquor license the company holds appears to be in the process of making moves. Now, this is not a commentary on the husband and wife team that appear to be attempting to open the Martini Bar in Muncie. It's more just a question of what role, if any, will Dustin play in the new business? And if Dustin is involved, how much taxpayer money, if any, will be funneled toward the new project? Also, keep in mind that besides Dustin, elected Muncie City Clerk Belinda Munson is also involved with American Bar Company. Stay tuned to the Political Spotlight for more. And then I showed a picture of the of the notice with Dustin clapping, but it looks like he's rubbing his hands together. And it got several comments. There were several people commenting on this post. And I just, give me a second here. I accidentally went away from it. Several people commented, and the comments were, you know, like you would think they would be. Someone said it wouldn't surprise me if Old Dan and the Dirty Mayor isn't getting some kind of a kickback using taxpayer money to fund the medical business on the crisis center, and then all of them cash in on the liquor license, do a three-way split, lining their pockets in the scam. You know, I don't know about that, but look, when people are left to wonder because there's no communication and no transparency, this is what you get. Someone says, follow the money. David Williams says, wow, this is crazy. So connected. Another person says, getting deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole Dan created. Follow the money indeed. Someone we all know says, hey, Dan, Dustin, get out of our pockets. Troy Tackett, amazing Troy Tackett, says, so I don't get it. They have had that liquor license for how many years now? Since him and Melinda bought the old Workman's Bar and acquired the license? Well, they've had it since 2021 or 2022. So please explain how any public money would be funneled to their business venture, and why would it? And you damn well know Dan has zero to do with anything bar related, so how does that work? Well, let's back up here, Skippy, okay? First of all, we said that Belinda and Dustin would be setting on that liquor license, waiting for the top dollar they could get out of it. So we knew that. We knew it wasn't going to be turned around right away. Number two, what do you mean? So please explain how any public money would be funneled to their new business venture. Edit? Happens all the time? What in the hell? You cannot be that dumb. Why would it? Why does Dan do anything with Dustin like he does? Why does anything happen with Dustin the way that it happens? Why? Good question. Why would it? Then he says, you damn well know Dan has zero to do with anything bar related. Dan was a massive, fierce proponent of the Dora, the downtown refreshment thing, where people could walk and skip and flip and flop from bar to bar to bar to bar outside, carrying outside open containers. Dan was adamant about that. Now, I know Dan doesn't drink. I don't drink, but that doesn't mean he can't advocate for a bar. That's nonsensical, man. Okay. Well, let's see what else happens. Lindsay Corey Bory Fink says, you know, those that don't like Dan will make up anything about him as long as he's in office. They will make up lie after lie, but of course, never prove Dan is corrupt. Well, honey, let's slow down before you hurt yourself. First of all, prove anything I say wrong about Dan. Tell me I'm wrong. Prove I'm wrong. Show me where I'm wrong, and I will eat it, and I'll come on for a week straight eating it. Okay? A month. You want me to say it every day for a month? I'll make a banner. As long as he's in office, they will make up lie after lie. How about as long as he's in office, he will be questioned and held accountable. But of course, never prove Dan is corrupt. I hate this word corrupt, I guess, so much because, like, what does it mean? You know, I'm not saying he's doing anything illegal. I'm saying it's questionable, morally questionable. Is it what he ran on? No. When I supported Dan and we were out campaigning to get people to vote for Dan, were we out promising this shit with Dustin? Would I have ever in a million years thought what's happening with Dustin could be happening? Never in 10 million years could I have thought that. So I quickly commented back to both of them by tagging their name and then splitting their names in half. So I commented to Troy Tackett and deleted the Troy, and then I commented to Lindsay Corey Bory Fink and got rid of the Corey Bory. And so I tagged Tackett Fink, which is a great name. I think I'm going to start calling Dan Addicts Tackett Finks. Anybody that likes Dan is a Tackett Fink. I think that's a name I'm going to start calling them. I love it. Karen. So I believe that that's a great name for them all. Tacket Finks. Dan Addicts or Tacket Finks. Where did I mention Dan? That's what I said. I didn't mention Dan. My post had nothing to do with Dan. Lindsay says, you didn't mention him on here, but others did. We all know you talk crap about him often. Other posts, comments, and I'm sure you talk about him on your podcast. I said, Lindsay Corey Borey, well, sure. He's the elected mayor, a public servant. Other people and I often discuss what he does and does not do as an elected official, but that still doesn't have anything to do with this post. I go on to say, so do you think the mayor right now made an intelligent decision when he allowed Dustin to create his own contract? And then Dan signed it without fully going through said contract to find where Dustin had taken out parts of the contract that Dan had originally wanted in the contract. Do you think that was intelligent? Are you okay with Dustin making $125 an hour? What is he doing that is worth that much? Are you okay with the fact that Dan and Dustin backdated the contract? Look, that's all stuff that point to corruption to me. Why backdate it? Doesn't that seem questionable? And remember, all this came after the whole Greenlight Resources debacle. Thoughts? Did you know about any of that? I mean, I know Dan didn't cover any of that in his Dustin-produced greatest hits speech last week. But were you aware? And then I shared a picture of her and her husband that was at the speech to prove that I knew that they were there. I then respond back to Troy saying Dan pushed the Dora deal and he did so fervently. So miss me with the Dan hates the bar stuff routine. But more importantly, I'm not specifically claiming Dan would push money towards this new bar. And honestly, if Dustin and Belinda are selling the liquor license and they would be totally out of it, then I would be okay with edit money going towards Howell's for this business venture. That's what edit money is supposed to be for. But if Dustin and or Belinda maintain any connection to the new project at all, then I would be a little less okay with edit money going to that project. And look, we don't know what is or is not. So, or will not happen there. That's the reason for this question. And the reason the question has to be asked is because all the crazy shit that has already gone on between Dan and Dustin. Corey Bory Fink says, aw, thank you so much for reposting the picture of my husband and I. That's so sweet of you. You know what? I don't watch your content, so I don't know where you are getting your information from. What does my content have to do with where I'm getting the information from? I'm getting the information from Dan, from Dustin, from the city. It's all public record, sis. It's not that difficult. You could get it too. It's factual information. You don't have to know where it's coming from, and you don't have to listen to me to engage with this and to understand and to know that this is factual information. She said, I don't know where you're getting your information from, but I do know that I am just fine with the way Dan is running the city. Just because you think you know everything doesn't mean you're always right. I know you were a big fan of the Tyler administration, and I know she specifically doesn't know that. She specifically, take another pill, man. I know you were a big fan of the Tyler administration, and I know you have this agenda against the current administration. I know that you will do whatever you can to get back at Dan because you have this issue with him. So just because you think you know everything doesn't mean you are always right. Good luck in your future endeavors. Said, I railed harder against Tyler administration than I do against Dan's. You just weren't involved at the time, and so therefore you don't know. The issue here is you don't have a clue about anything going on. You have no real understanding of the government. You are a sycophant that bobbles your head in support of people that make you feel that you're part of the team because they are in dire need of support like yours. The sad part of it is most of those same people act horribly towards you when you're not part of the conversation, and that I know for a fact. I just wish you truly understood. Or maybe it's better to be clueless, I don't know. Anyway, as always, it was a joy talking to you again. Honestly, I thought you had moved until we chat again. She then says that your very first sentence is laughable. You must remember that not everything from the Tyler administration was deleted. You can call me all the names you want. I didn't specifically call her a name. The only name I call her is the name that she calls her husband, which I think is laughable. You can call me all the names you want. You can make fun of me. I'm not making fun of her. I know that there are people in the right now administration that do. I'm not. Just informing her of the people that she thinks are her friends for political reasons aren't her friends. That's just opening her eyes up to truth. I don't know why you would think that most of the people act horribly towards me when I'm not part of the conversation. You are most definitely never a part of those conversations. So I'm not sure how you think you could make such a statement. I do truly understand. I understand way more than you think I do. Okay. Fantastic. And that, folks, is why we are screwed, man. I don't know, man. The Dustin Trunk Shrimp. God, you're bringing back some long ago stuff. I haven't thought about trunk shrimp in a long time. Trunk shrimp, $5 per pound or 20 for 3, cash only. Trunk shrimp. I don't know, man. I don't know. We need some new blood. We need some new blood. I'm hoping there are people out there. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this new Republican Party is actually going to create these committees like they're talking about. I hope that they are actually going to go out looking and try to recruit people. I'm hopeful that they're going to welcome everybody. I'm getting the impression that they seem like they're going to be welcoming to Ryan Webb and to others. So, that's a plus. We just really need some new people because we just do not have many. I don't feel like they truly understand how politics works. And look, Lindsay Corey Fink is right. I don't know everything. Just because I say something doesn't mean it's always the God's honest truth or it's whatever. I get things wrong. When I get things wrong, I try to say that they're wrong. I try to come out as quickly as possible when I am wrong. If I push something and it's not accurate, I try to be very open and upfront about that. What I come forward with and the information that I give you when I'm giving you guys solid information on things, it's coming to me from sources who have been vetted and given factual information for years and years and years. Sometimes those people do get it wrong. And when that happens, I'm open and upfront and honest about it. When I'm talking about my commentary and giving you my commentary, I think you know a difference. Like tonight's been mostly my thoughts about stuff and the way I think. So that's open to interpretation. I understand everybody's not going to believe the way I do or think the way I do. There might be people that think that I've gone like too hard tonight, maybe on Corey Bory Fink or whatever. But look, she's not just a private citizen. She is a politico. Not by brain power, not by experience, not by time, but by her willpower. And I've tried telling her before, listen, if you don't want it, just shut up and leave me alone. Don't post, don't respond. She came onto my wall commenting. I didn't make her do that. I didn't force her to do that. So time will tell. I don't know. We will see what will happen. She and others push themselves in positions of being politicos, so it's part of it. It is what it is. There are even people who step up who are in bad situations, and honestly, they do more harm than good. If you are in any way interested and involved, you don't have to run for office. Maybe you could just be part of the teams. Maybe you could just, go to party meetings. Maybe you could make phone calls. Whatever. Maybe you could post social media. If you're interested, man, start looking out. Start contacting these people and getting involved. MFD, first of all, I said the other night that there was an ethics commission meeting, and there wasn't. They did not have a meeting on Wednesday, apparently, or not one that I've been able to find recorded anywhere. So that's that. Muncie Fire Department Merit Commission met today. I was not there. I have attempted to go to like the last 3 or 4 merit commissions, and I will tell you, they are quick, man. They're like lightning speed. One merit commission was over like in 4 minutes. Like they are wham bam thing. They open and they say, yeah, we're here. Pass the minutes, and then they're gone. I will tell you, today's meeting of the Merit Commission. Give me a second here. I want to pull this up. We're almost done. Give me 1 second. I got just 2 more things to show you. So what is this? Okay, per your request. Okay, right here. So share this tab insteed. Today's Muncie Merit Commission, Muncie Fire Department Merit Commission. This was it. Call to order, roll call. Approval of the minutes from February 13th. Chief Dan Burford, Attorney Mark Irvin, conditional offer of employment, commission's favor regarding filed complaint, rule and procedure 6 C23. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to dig into what this is. Okay. I have heard from sources that several complaints have been filed by a Muncie fireman against the chief of the fire department. And that's what this is. So I'm working on getting out what this is. And just to let everybody know, the complaints that have been filed against the fire department chief, it's not something new. All of the complaints are connected or pertain to everything that has already been going on over the last 2 years. So just an FYI for those that are maybe wanting to read between the lines on what this could be. It's just all part of that. So just keep that in your mind. So I'm working on getting that information. I did send the record request to the Delaware County treasurer for the piece of paper that I need for the check. I did forward the record request. Listen, we didn't really talk about it. We didn't really talk about it a lot from yesterday, but I mean, I'm just so totally shocked that I issued a records request yesterday morning to Madison County Auditor Todd Culp, and he fulfilled the request by 9:30 a.m. that same day. Like, that really shocks me. The attorney then sent me back some nonsense telling me I needed to fill out the specific form, I did, and I sent it to him, and hell, he's even followed back up today saying that they do have my form, they're looking into it, and they will get back to me promptly. So just crazy. Like, I'm really impressed. So cool. The last thing, was there something from the Board of Works meeting that we really needed to go over? I went through it. I didn't see anything of any real value. MUNCIE City. Let's see. City of Muncie. What is it? It's a holy shit. It's like it's another 8 minutes long. It's like 7 minutes long. Okay, let's just look at it real quick and then we'll end. Yeah, I don't really understand where Ted is. I need to ask somebody. I need to ask someone if Ted was at the Innovation Connector today, because Ted has now been missing. This is like the third week in a row Ted has been missing, and I don't understand what's going on. So I need to look into that. And while this is playing here real quick, this is only a few minutes, I will look into.
Good morning and welcome to the March 12th meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. If you'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have roll call, please.
Will Mauer,
Present.
Linda Gregory,
Present.
Ted Baker, and Bruce Snyder.
Not here. Up next, we have consideration of the March 5th minutes.
I move approval of the minutes for the March 5 meeting as presented.
I will second. Any comments, questions? All right. Hearing none. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Claims. Mr. Craig, right? Good morning.
Good morning. Sent out the claims yesterday afternoon, and there's really not much to it this week. Just the usual utilities. We did have a claim to a payout to GM Development for the fire station construction.
Of course.
And the had some salt purchases that were split between the sanitary district and the city. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions you might have.
Linda?
I don't have any this week.
I don't either. Do we have a motion?
Yes, I move approval of the claims as presented for $819,250.
I will second. Any comments, questions? All right, hearing none. All those who approve, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
We have no unfinished business, so moving into new business, we have a street closure application for Ball State's 2025 commencement. It's that time. Almost.
Getting there.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Anthony Hurst with the Ball State Police Department, the Director of Training and Special Events Coordinator. As we prepare for commencement this May, we've looked at changing, moving a few things around with the state of the world today that we live in, trying to make things a little bit safer. Additionally, with the Ashland Road being closed because of the parking garage and the new constructions going on there. So we've asked to have McKinley be closed between Riverside and University. We use police officers and barricades to close that down. That'll do a couple things for us. That'll allow us to actually stage and station some buses along that roadway, getting them off of University that we've used in the past, kind of keeping University open a little bit more. Additionally, it's going to allow for safer pedestrians back and forth coming to and from the parking garage to the area, kind of centralizing things. It's also going to allow us to keep one lane specifically open for emergency vehicle personnel that may need to come and go as well. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
All right. And any questions?
So there won't be any closure on University at all.
No, just McKinley in between Riverside and University.
Sounds good. I move approval of the street closure as presented.
Second, any questions, comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you so much. Next, we have the Delaware County Historical Society regarding an abandoned piece of playground equipment.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So the Delaware County Historical Society reached out to me about some basically abandoned city property that exists within the right-of-way. In my opinion, it would generally be disposed of. They have an interest in potentially passing it on to someone to restore it, as it is of no longer any use to the city and would generally be disposed of. I would ask this board to
Mumble up, son.
grant them permission to remove it and restore it and have and hold and et cetera, et cetera.
I move approval of the request for disposal of the piece of equipment.
I will second. Any comments or questions? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, Adam. We also have a street closure application for Secret Families Christmas. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for the late entry into the program. It's been something that we've done every year. The closure we're asking for is really a short 1 block in front of the SIGEP house for just a few hours in April. We call it the big pull. Typically, we pull an MRAP vehicle, a fire truck, and many times a garbage truck. 10 people pulling it 10 yards for time. All the money is raised. Every family, every team that enters sponsors another family for Christmas. So very simple, nothing much to it.
Kate.
Typically, the application, we ask for more hours than we use. Many times and you'll see it on that, typically by 2:30, we're packed up, done, gone. With that, you just never know with weather. If it rains, sometimes it takes a little longer. So, it's all good. But, thank you very much. Appreciate the consideration.
And this will be April 5th, starting at 10:30.
Please. We'll start set up. Police chief usually loans us some of the barricades. Sometimes they put them up. A lot of times we pick them up, put them up. We'll take them back and then drop them back off to the station. So I think everybody that we've been to Ball State Police is always very cordial with that. Many times they come out. So they're there hanging out, watching a little bit, whatever. And we always appreciate that. They're always very cordial.
Great. Linda, any questions or motion?
No. I move approval of the street closure.
I will second. Any comments, questions? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very kind.
That is the end of new business. Is there any other business to come before the board today? All right. There's a bid.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you, Nikita.
This is a bid for the re-roofing, it's hard to say, work at the Tui Pool House. And we have one bid from Blackmore and Buckner for 100, wait a minute, $101,650. That's the only bid. Do you wish us to take it under advisement?
All right. Thank you so much. Any other new business to come before the board today? All right. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.
Whoa.
See you next week.
Whoa. It's adjourned. It's over. Boom, bang, pow. That's already over already. Okay, so let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen. While we were watching that, I went on to the City of Muncie Controllers page, and I
will now recognize myself for 5 minutes of questions.
Been able to locate the claims for this week. Could you find them, Kate? It looked like because you were finding something else. So Kate and I, neither one were able to locate the claims for the Wednesday, March 12th. Now, that's crazy because they are always there like clockwork. So I don't know if something happened, if Craig got sick or something happened. So I have sent in, I'm preparing an email right now that I will send as soon as we're off here. It says, and I'm sending it to the communications director, to Craig Wright, to Ridenauer, to Dustin Clark, to Linda Gregory, and to Ted Baker, and then also to Kate. And the reason I'm saying it, the email is going to say Communications Director Green, Controller Wright. I have not been able to locate the claims from the most recent Board of Works meeting, Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Can you advise where those are or how soon they will be up? If it's going to be a moment, can you please submit those to me here in this email, or please let me know when they will be posted. I also am wondering why a contract employee would still, just absolutely bizarre, why a contract employee would still have a credit card. Kate sent this to me while this was going on. And now listen, it's not much. So it's not like he's spending thousands a month, but it's $359. And that's exactly 340. Let's see how much it was total. He spent $359.30, which to me is exactly $360 too much. He does not need a credit card. We should not be giving our contract employees a credit card. That's insane. I don't get it. I do not get it. I cannot comprehend why that would be happening. I do not understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I still don't understand. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't get it. So I don't understand. I thank you, Kate. I do have the one from February 21st from that thing, but yeah, I don't get what's going on here. So we'll find out about the claims as soon as I have them. I'll let you guys know if I'll put it to you this way. If there's nothing in it of value, you'll never hear me talk about it. If there is something, I'll bring it to your attention, but obviously there's nothing there. And I just, how does a second party get a city credit card, Dan? A second party? What's a second party? The contract employee? That should not be that's so weird. That's so weird. I gotta ask Sarah about that. And it's just so weird. It's so weird that they'd be doing all this. So that's that. Okay. All right. We're leaving here. You guys, thank you for listening. I do want to say this before we leave. Solar eclipse. It's 11 p.m. right now. When I was coming in, I got to tell you, yeah, that's exactly right, Stumblefoot. Oh, good. Let me see what you sent me about Muncie Fire Department. Oh. This was 1 hour ago. Okay, so this is real quick. And we were leaving, but since we were talking about this, probably should hit this. This is breaking for those of you that have not seen or heard this. Muncie firefighter stripped of state credentials for 3 years following cheating scheme. Channel 13 News first broke news of exam cheating inside the Muncie Police Department almost 2 years ago. This was posted today. It says a longtime firefighter accused of orchestrating an exam cheating scheme will not be able to serve as a firefighter in Indiana for at least 3 years. Indiana Board of Firefighting Personnel Standards and Education voted Thursday morning to revoke all 26 firefighting certifications earned by Muncie Fire Department Captain Troy Delaney, a punishment that far exceeds recommendations by administrative law judge and decisions that Delaney and his attorney call improper. Your revocation order is not just, doesn't have the evidence to support it, Delaney's attorney, Alexandria Dowers, told board members, insisting that her client had not helped other members of the Muncie Fire Department cheat on their certification exams. No credible evidence was presented that my client ever did. News 13 first broke the news of examined cheating inside the Muncie Fire Department almost 2 years ago. Indiana Department of Homeland Security investigated and determined that Delaney had pressured new recruits to share the test questions and answers with him after they took their state and national certification exams, a practice which violates state and national testing rules. According to investigators, Delaney also coordinated a scheme to share the actual test questions and answers with other firefighters and EMTs, which is another violation of state rules. Delaney has been fighting to save his career ever since. In 2023, BFPSE and the state's EMS commission voted to revoke all of his firefighting and EMS certifications. Delaney appealed. At his administrative law hearing last summer, the Muncie fireman told an administrative judge he did not help his coworkers cheat and that the allegations against him were in part by an effort by Muncie firefighters to prevent him from getting a promotion. The administrative law judge ruled mostly in his favor, writing that the attorney representing the state regulatory boards largely failed to prove the state's allegations. The judge, whose findings are not binding, recommended that the state impose permanent revocation of Delaney's EMS certifications, and she recommended no revocation on his firefighting certifications. But Thursday morning, the firefighting board rejected the judge's recommendations, revoking all of his certifications anyway. The state attorney asked the board for a lifetime revocation, and the board members did vote to permanently revoke Delaney's instructor certifications. Delaney's certifications must be permanently revoked. Operating as an instructor and an evaluator is the most integral function for the fire service. There can be no leniency for instructors who put at risk the integrity of the certifications issued by the board. and the health, safety, and the welfare of the public. It's for these reasons that Delaney's certifications must be permanently revoked, a state attorney told the board. But the rest of Delaney's firefighting certifications, 24 of them, will be revoked for only 3 years after board members voted to amend the much harsher proposal offered by the Department of Homeland Security lawyers. Delaney will also have the option of requesting that board members reconsider their final decision after he serves the first 2 years of his punishment. I feel it's reasonable compromise. The chairman said he worked hard to establish a career as a firefighter, and he will still have the option to continue that career in the future. Some board members told 13 News their compromise is still intended to send a strong message. I think the message is that if you're an instructor or a participant in the fire service, you have to follow the rules, Tom Hanfey said. But it's more than that. You're taking an oath to this community that you're going to uphold the principle of the fire service, and if you're cheating your way on a test, it can't be tolerated. Delaney's attorney told board members that the board, not her client, was engaged in cheating by trying to manipulate facts to fit predetermined outcome. Before Thursday's vote, Dowers told the board that a vote to revoke Delaney's firefighting certifications and to ignore the recommendations of the administration law judge would be overturned on appeal in Superior Court, signaling that Delaney will appeal the board's final decision in state court. It's just the latest legal battle Delaney is facing relating the state's findings of cheating. The city of Muncie has filed formal misconduct charges against Delaney, who now faces a separate disciplinary hearing before the Muncie Fire Merit Commission to determine whether he'll be fired by the city. It's not yet clear whether Thursday's order will impact the disciplinary hearing or the Merit Commission's decision. Delaney has filed his own lawsuit against the city of Muncie, alleging the fire department violated his rights by failing to promote him to the role of battalion chief. He has been on administrative leave for nearly 2 years, collecting his full salary while this appeal plays out. Neither Delaney nor his attorneys have responded to 13's request for comments on Thursday's decision. So in the end, it's Muncie citizens getting screwed by all of this. So as long as we can continue getting screwed, then I hope the Muncie Fire Department, Troy Delaney, I hope they just continue on playing this little game and screw us until the end of time if you can, because that's fantastic. That's why I ask when they will stop paying him, now or after the appeal process. No, it won't be now. No. It won't be now. It won't even necessarily be, it won't even be after the appeal process necessarily. He could fight to be paid. I don't know. I don't really know. It's going to be interesting because I don't think that they should have to pay him while he's on punishment. I don't know. I don't know what the union says about that. I don't know. I mean, time will tell. But I would say for the next foreseeable future, he will continue to still be getting paid. So I'll look into this and I'll talk to my sources in City Hall and my sources at the fire department, see what I can gather. And I will let you guys know as soon as I possibly get a chance. It won't be until next week, but I'll let you know. So, all right, folks. Hey, that's going to do it. Before we go, the last thing I want to say is the lunar eclipse is this evening. So it should be starting. He won't. I mean, he won't be anything for 3 years. So, for at least 2. So that's a big thing. The countdown for the year's first and only total lunar eclipse begins. The celestial event, which will see the moon change to a rusty red hues, will occur in the U.S. Overnight tonight into tomorrow. Another total lunar eclipse won't be visible in the U.S. until March of 2026. Unlike the total solar eclipse in April, the upcoming total lunar eclipse, the first since November 2022, doesn't require special equipment to witness safely. Here's what makes the lunar eclipse special and different from a solar eclipse. You know what it is. It's we go in front of the between the sun and the moon. It is what it is. All I care about is the time. Let's see here what it tells us on the time. Okay, so all right, here we go. Hoosiers can start watching the eclipse beginning at 11:57 when the first phase begins, during which the moon travels through the Earth's penumbra. Is that what it is? Penumbra, or the faint outer part of its shadow, according to NASA. 11:57. Okay, skywatchers will need to exercise patience because the full eclipse will take a while to complete. The agency predicts the moon will complete all of the eclipse phases over 6 hours and will end at 6 a.m. What you will see during the total lunar eclipse. Okay, so 11:57 it begins. 1:09 partial eclipse begins. Totality begins at 2:26 a.m. Eastern. And totality ends at 3:30. Wow. The totality lasts for over an hour? Kick ass. I wish that happened in the solar eclipse here. I wish it lasts like for a day. Partial eclipse ends at 4:47, and the thing is over by 6 a.m. So if you're interested in checking that out, check that out. You guys be safe. Take care. God bless. Hit the like before you leave if you have not done so already. That would be fantastic and special. You guys take care. Have a good evening. We'll be back here. No, not tomorrow night. We'll be back here Sunday at 9 p.m. Watch the social medias if you want to see anything that we post over the weekend, and we'll let you go. If you haven't already subscribed and clicked the bell, you might do so just in case we get a little froggy and drop something special at various other times over the weekend. So you guys take care. God bless. Have a good night, and we will see you back here Sunday. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.